life to legend, with stories of Southwest history. Get your guns, be ready, anything could happen now. Grab your hat and tie your holster down. When you hear the sound of gunfire, you'll surely know 6 Guns and Shady Ladies are in town. Say, them ladies seated at the table, dealing cards and looking oh so sweet, wearing their finest, displaying their charm, gossiping, not being too discreet. Hey, cowboy, I'm warning you, you don't want to stay, you don't want to lay your money down. Lady Luck don't care for you, should have walked away. Now there's a pool of blood there on the ground. 6 Guns, Shady Ladies have gathered here for everyone to see. They're bringing life to legend, with stories of Southwest history. So get your guns, be ready, anything can happen now. Grab your hat and tie your holster down. When you hear the sound of gunfire, you'll surely know 6 Guns and Shady Ladies are in town. Now before we start all this gunfire, we're going to have a little talk about safety, because that's very important. We don't want anybody getting hurt out here. That's why we started using blanks and stuff like that. We kept running out of people to do this silly stuff. So to talk all about history and safety and all that stuff, the man that knows everything, do not dispute. Would you welcome center stage, Mr. Will Power.
Thank you everybody for being here today. Can you hear me over there? Can you hear me over there? What? Anyway, Will Power here. Thank you for coming out. How many of you have seen us do our shows before? You live to tell about it. Well, thank you everybody for coming downtown tonight. Our goal is to do 3 of these a year and celebrating 3 different major events that took place in Old El Paso. This one that has to do with a couple of ladies of the night. They had a little bit of a gunfight down a few blocks from here. And then probably the most famous gunfight that most everybody knows about, that's John Wesley Hardin. So stay tuned and come back and share these things with you. But in the meantime, let me show you what happens with a blank. These guns we're using are real, capable of hurting people seriously. In fact, as he mentioned, we used to use real bullets and our group got real small. So we use blanks. Okay. So I'm going to show you what happens when I fire a 45 caliber blank into this beer can. The skin on this beer can is just a little bit thicker than the skin on you. So this shows you what kind of damage we have. Now, this is going to be loud, so be prepared. You really want to do that? I had to practice at this because it's a small target. Okay, ready? Fire in the hole! That's a 45 caliber blank. So the message is for you little guys and gals, if you see something that looks like a bullet or a gun, get mom or dad to get it, pick it up and handle it. Not you, please. And if you don't think mom and dad are smart, then find something to show you. So, without further ado, 135 years ago, right here at this intersection, was the beginning of what was known as the 4 Days Gunfight with Dallas Stoudenmire. I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for coming.
Since he used a beer can, would you call that alcohol abuse? 1881, the railroad come to town. And it changed everything. We was a little village, about 700 people. In nothing flat, we went to 10,000. Changed everything. We went from adobe to lumber and brick. That iron horse brought in so many people into this town, we didn't know how to cope with it. Brought businessmen, brought gamblers, brought professional people of all kinds of natures, brought shady ladies, brought cowboys, brought outlaws. Anybody could ride that train come to El Paso. We became a hell-bent town. The Mannings were kind of running El Paso back then, and they liked it that way. George Campbell, where you at, George Campbell?
Over there.
Hey, George. He used to be city marshal here, but he didn't do his job. The only way he could make money was arresting people, getting warrants. He'd arrest them and he'd get paid for that. But he'd rather drink and pal around with the Manning brothers. Well, he decided if I did get with the Mannings and we started raising some cane around here and making trouble, maybe these elected officials would start paying me. I'd start making some money. And that just elevated the level of violence. And it became a terrible town to be trying to live in, raise a family. Turned out the city leader said, well, you know what, George? We don't need your kind of lawmanship. You're fired. We're going to go find another one. So they went looking, and they found one. He was 6'4" of walking, talking trouble. Dallas Stoudenmire. He's over there where he ought to be, out of my way. He was a man that lived on guns. He loved violence. He loved drinking. He loved taking care of business. This man carried 2 guns. He had a long-barreled 6-shooter, and he had a belly gun. Carried them in leather-lined hip pockets. Dead Dallas Stoudenmire. Well, he come to town and he said, well, Dallas, we're going to give you the job. The first thing you need to do, you need to get over to that saloon and find Bill Johnson. He's the town drunk, but he is now the acting city marshal. He's got the keys to your jail. You go get those keys and do your job.
Woo! Take your hands off my drink!
Come on, go.
I am so angry! I cannot believe what they're doing to me again!
What are they doing to you, Bill? What happened?
I hear they're gonna fire me, and they got some galoot from Alabama that's coming to town to take my job again!
That's Bill Johnson, drunk as usual.
You know I'm a light drinker. It turns light and I start drinking. Johnson!
Don't encourage him.
I'm the new marshal here. Give me the keys to the jail. Give me the keys, now!
I can't do that yet, because I got the key to my apartment. I got the key to, I don't know what that's the key to, but
Johnson, you're not the marshal.
I am too. I got the badge.
Not anymore. We don't need your kind around here. You're a drunk. You're a bad influence on the children. You cause nothing but trouble, and you're not doing the job. You're fired. Get out of here. If anybody's got a problem, I'm Dallas Stoudenmire. There are no problems.
Well, he actually roughed old Bill up pretty good. And that was an appointment for them to meet later and take care of this, because they embarrassed him. And it also showed the Manning brothers and some of these bad guys in town that they might have a problem here pretty soon. We better watch this.
Bill asked for it, though. All you had to do was stop drinking. Here we go.
Well, see, that's how Dallas started the job, and that was his first day. Well, had some Mexican ranchers come into town and said 30 herd of cattle had been rustled, and they're up there in Anthony. Johnny Hale, where you at, Johnny Hale? He's running a ranch up there for the Manning brothers, and they're cattle thieves. And these Mexicans know that, and they want those cattle back. They go up and they see the brands, and they see the brand that's being put on that's just like theirs, just a little bit added to it. So they're claiming that. He's got 30 head of them. And they're up there investigating it, and they decided we need to do something about that because them vaqueros, they'll take that word back into Mexico, and we'll have all kinds of problems. So those vaqueros were murdered. Well, it doesn't take long for news to get from El Paso across that river. And then nothing flat. 50 armed Mexicans came into town. They found Judge Butler, and they said, we want an inquest. We want those bodies of those vaqueros, and we want to know why they were murdered, and we want those cattle back. Well, Mannings and the others didn't like that, but Stoudenmire stepped up and he said, well, the letter of the law is going to be followed, so they had a court trial on it. Went to trial just right over here. Got really heated, got really mad. Gus Kremko, where you at, Gus? Gus stepped up because he's bilingual. He said, well, I'll translate. I'll make sure everything's understood here.
Yes, yo sabo español.
Thank you, Gus. George Campbell was going to be a part of that. George, remember him? Used to be the city marshal. Buddy friends with the Manning brothers. They say he might have had something to do with those vaqueros being killed. Well, the trial started and there was lots of yelling and lots of bad temper. A lot of things happened, and the judge finally said, hold it. We're going to take a recess, and I want all of you to just calm down, and then we'll come back together here and we'll get this thing settled. So they left that courtroom, went down, got their guns, put them back on. They were coming out of the saloon. Gus Grimcall was coming, and George Campbell had a few choice words for him.
That's a travesty what's going on in there. Yeah, anybody having those Mexicans ought to be hung.
George, you better not be talking about me.
I'm talking about you. And if the shoe fits, wear it. Yeah.
Turn loose, George. I got him covered. Come on, Dallas.
You see, Dallas has got that long barrel 6-shooter. Got that little belly gun. He's got that 6-shooter for accuracy. He just shot down an innocent bystander.
He wasn't innocent. Nobody's innocent. Not what I shoot.
There's Gus Kremkoff. Hey, shoot, Dallas.
4 dead in 5 seconds. Right here in the streets. Well, Stoudenmire was taken to court over that, and they decided he was justified in those killings. He didn't murder nobody. He was doing his job. They gave him a raise and a gold-headed Vulcans. Remember old Bill Johnson? Remember that town drunk? Well, he's still pretty upset, I guess, about the way he was treated by Dallas. And the Mannings are still egging him on, and they're wanting Dallas out of all this. So they're going to bring him up to the bar and give him some drinks and an opportunity to take care of this situation because, you know, if Dallas was to be taken out, who knows? He might be the marshal again. He could be a hero.
Hello! How are you?
Good and you? How you doing?
I'm not doing good at all. I'd be doing better if I was wearing that badge instead of
Way to
walking
go.
around with no
That's
gun.
right.
I have no authority anymore. All I can do. I'm I love this one.
Put your gun back. Here, have another drink.
This way, Bill.
Come on, have. Now watch the road.
gun anymore. I'm not allowed to carry a gun.
Come on, well,
Not a plan. Stoudenmire's not very popular with a lot of folks in town. Remember to kill all those people the other day? You know?
He's not popular with me either.
No, it kills him. Be real popular in this town.
That's a good idea. Who's gonna kill him?
why don't you kill him? You.
I'm unarmed.
We're standing behind you.
Hold on.
We'll be behind you all the way.
Here you go.
100 yards.
Can't miss with that. Now, I'll tell you what you do, Bill. You get behind that brick pile over there where they're building the bank, and you wait for Stoudenmire to make his rounds at night. And when he comes around, you just pop up and shoot him with a shotgun.
I can do that. I can kill him with this.
You might get your
And I
shot
would be the
back.
marshal again.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
And I need some fortification.
There you go.
I'll be back as your new marshal.
We'll wait for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Now the State National was building a bank, so there was a pile of bricks over there, and he hid behind that pile of bricks with a double-barreled shotgun. Knew that Dallas was going to be making his rounds about 8 o'clock at night. He was going to be with Doc Cummins, his brother-in-law. They were really good friends, and he supported Dallas, so he helped him in any way that he could. They were making the rounds, and our lawman won't be his will.
All right, Doc, let's go check the town. All right,
Everything looks quiet, but you never know.
let's swing into Manning. I want to make sure those polecats don't cause any trouble tonight.
Yeah, there's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be there.
Why don't you check out the poker table? Maybe have a drink. Hey, Manning,
Hello, Dallas.
What?
We're going.
I'm winning that best card.
I don't want any problems tonight. You keep the trouble in this bar. You'll let out the door. You'll let anything get out in the streets. You understand?
The only trouble in this bar is you.
That's because I don't let you run this town. Not anymore.
Come on.
You keep it quiet. You keep it down. You understand me?
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, Doc, you ready to go?
Yeah, I got our.
Doing good, miss. Not tonight. I'm on the job and I'm busy. Let's hit the streets.
Always on the job.
That's right. We're gonna check the other end of town, Doc. You ready?
Yeah,
You don't have any time to play?
Miss?
let's go.
Hush. All right, Doc, we'll check the other end of town. All right. Make sure there's no trouble. Stand there!
Bill Johnson.
Where'd those polecats go,
They
Doc?
were out the back.
You all right?
Listen, what happened?
One of those things, varmints got me in the heel.
Yeah, well, okay. All right, go.
Yeah, I
Pull
know.
him on.
Bill fired that shotgun and missed both times. They filled him full of holes. I believe he had 9 bullet holes in him. Old Bill was leaking from places he didn't know could leak. Well, they decided to bury him. Put him in the cemetery down here. And it wasn't too many years later they wanted to build a library. So they dug that cemetery up to move bodies, and old Bill was one of them bodies they picked up. And all the men that was carrying him thought, I wonder what he looks like after all this time. Well, they opened that casket and looked at him. He looked better than most of them. And then he just turned to dust. Well, Bill Johnson is gone now. That extra shooting here, what you heard was the Manning brothers shooting out of their saloon trying to get Dallas to take him out because Bill Johnson couldn't do it. Dallas got hit in the heel. He left town for a little while, went to recover. Came back to town. He was married at the time. His nurse fell in love with the little lady that was taking care of him, I guess. So his little sweetheart, come back to town. And the city leaders were scared to death. All this was going to start up again. There was a feud between the Mannings and Dallas Stoudenmire. They knew there was something bad going to happen. So they forced them or kind of encouraged them to sign a peace treaty. It worked for, I guess, about 6 months or so. In the meantime, old Dallas was drinking really heavy. City leaders wanted him gone, so they found a way to, I think they reduced his pay, and he resigned and left. Went up into New Mexico, and by the time he came back, he had been appointed a U.S. deputy marshal. He was not a city marshal anymore, he was a U.S. deputy marshal. But he come back into town because he had some warrants to serve, and he thought one of those people he was looking for might be in the Manning Saloon, because those kind of people hang together. So he went in to check it out, and the Mannings thought that he was going to break that peace treaty. So trouble flared up again. Dallas thought, well, maybe we better have a talk about this. So he tried to get Doc and Jim and Frank together to discuss that peace treaty.
Hey, Doc, come on up to the bar. I'll buy you a drink. We gotta talk.
You're right there.
Jim, where's Frank at?
I don't know. I'll go see if I can find him.
You can find him, bring him back. We've got a problem. We need to talk about it. Hey, Doc, I've been back in town. People been saying things. People been talking. Been spreading lies, rumors. I don't like it.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Stoudenmire. You ain't sticking to the terms of the agreement. You've been coming around our place threatening to kill us.
Doc, that's a damn lie and you know it.
No damn lie.
It's a
I'll
lie.
show you what a lie is, because I'm going to keep my peace in my mind.
Right here.
Do it. You don't pull that. That's more wagon on me. Frank! Jim! Dallas is trying to kill me!
He just killed a barber pole. Then he got Dallas right in the head.
Ah! There you are! You big old galoot! Ah, told you! You were gonna
I think
get
Doc
it!
was a little
You're
upset.
gonna get it! The Manny brothers are gonna stand for that!
Doc, he's dead. Let's go.
He is, isn't he?
He's deader than
I
brick.
told you we're gonna get him!
Well, Jim, who had killed him, went to trial. And of course, he's one of the Mannings. He's friends with everybody in town. You think they're gonna find him guilty? No. Stoudenmire, being dead now, he happened to be a Mason. And the Mason stepped up, bought him a burying suit and a casket, put him on a train, shipped him to Anfree, Texas. Adios, partner. The demise of Dallas Stoudenmire. I've gathered here for one to see. They're bringing life to legend, the stories of selflessness and greed. Get your guns, behave, anything can happen now. Grab your hat and turn your horse around. When you hear the sound of gunfire, surely know 6 guns and shady ladies are in town. We want to thank you for letting us show you what happened in this wonderful city, old El Paso. Thank you for coming out. You tell somebody about it. This is the actual day Stoudenmire was killed, right here about where you're standing, right here in this area. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6 Guns and Shady Ladies, when you hear the sound of gunfire, you'll surely know 6 Guns and Shady Ladies are in town.
work.
Thanks for coming, folks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.